Welcome to part 2 of the Chuki Avatar installation guide. This time, we'll cover how to customize your Chuki's shape and features using the installer menu. Before that, however, I'd like to briefly cover how to pan and zoom around the Unity scene window, so you can view your Chuki from different angles as you make adjustments. If you already know how to do that, just feel free to skip this part. Move the mouse cursor onto the scene part of the Unity window. Now if you hold down the right mouse button, you can move around the mouse to pan around your surroundings. You can also use W, A, S and D to move around like you're moving the camera, as well as Q and E to change the elevation of the camera. Additionally, you can scroll the mouse wheel up and down while you have the right mouse button held to change the camera speed. This is useful if you want to slow the camera down to get a really close look at something, or if you want to speed it up to get to something far away more quickly. Finally, if you end up lost in the scene and you're not sure where anything is, you can double click on something on the hierarchy window on the left, and the camera will focus on it for you. Okay, now let's learn about using the Chuki installer to customize your own Chuki. Let's have some fun with it! Let's begin by naming the new Chuki. Once you've typed in the name, make sure to click the apply button so that the change is saved, otherwise you might run into some issues down the line. On that note, make sure you always click save and close at the bottom left of the installer once you're done making changes. Whereas if you close the installer manually with the X at the top right, you might lose your hard work. Let's begin by selecting a body type for our Chuki. You can also toggle whether the Chuki has breasts, and also select a slim body frame if you prefer that to the standard. Next, select your favourite hairstyle from the menu and see how it previews on your Chuki. You can also mirror it if you prefer, and even add a braid. It's easy to change this later, even after you've textured the hair. Choose which lay crystals you'd like your Chuki to have on their body. These are sort of like birthmarks, so less is more. We recommend you choose the few crystals that really stand out to you and will accentuate your Chuki's design. Now let's customize the patterns and colors of the crystals. You can use the buttons here to toggle the lights, as well as toggle on the glow feature of the crystals to see how it'll look in different lighting environments. We recommend you do this whenever you make an adjustment to the colors. Now you can cycle through the presets and take a look at which material appeals the most to you. Some of them are quite different from the others, huh? Make sure to do this before you choose which color you want, because the colors will affect different patterns in different ways. After that, it's just a matter of experimentation. Choose what kind of base color you want, as that will serve the basis for the whole crystal, and then go through the other color sliders and see what it affects. In some cases it might affect the reflection of light, where in others it might affect the wave of light effect that plays every few seconds. Have fun with it. Finally, you can use the smoothness slider to make the edges of the crystals more or less noticeable. The next menu contains advice on changing your Chuki's body material, but we'll cover that in a separate video. Now it's time to choose how big you want your new Chuki to be. We have height recommendations on the menu, but it's up to you really. If you'd prefer to enter your height in Unity units instead of using the slider, you can do so just below. You can use the extras menu to customize your Chuki even further. For example, you can add earrings, glasses, or a wristband. We recommend using the optimized lenses on the glasses for performance. And yes, they even do the anime thing when you touch them. Once you get to customizing your Chuki's material, you'll be able to customize the wristband as well. Now we can customize the body shape of the Chuki. Most of the options are self-explanatory, but let's go over a couple of them. The Everly arms will make the arms slimmer and also pull the shoulders in somewhat, whereas the Everly hips will make your Chuki, well, pear-shaped. The crotch slider, if increased, will raise the Chuki's crotch somewhat, which we found to be ideal for working with the slim body type, but you might like it on the other one as well. The head modification section contains various options regarding your hair, your ears, and your whiskers. Keep in mind if you turn the ear flop up too high, or rather keep the ears drooped too low, you may have to do some extra work to get your expressions working later. The face modification options are pretty self-explanatory, just like the body modification options, but let's go over a couple of them again. The Everly muzzle and Brad snout both flatten the snout in different ways to give a unique shape. Please don't combine them. Whereas the Brad chin is more protruded and the Brad cheeks are more round. The fluff menu is pretty easy to use as well. It'll just add some fluff modifications to part of the Chuki's mesh. Whilst the sliders make them look nice and fuzzy by altering the mesh, the tick boxes actually add components. Here you can see the shoulder mesh and the ear fluff. Both the size and material of these are customizable. Next, it's time to choose a personality, or rather, the expression set your Chuki will use. Flick through the options to see which one you like the most, and make sure to pay heed to any extra instructions that appear at the bottom of the menu. We plan to create a video showcasing the full contents of each expression set, so take a look in the playlist in case it's been uploaded already. Some expressions will cause your ears to droop down, and if you've set your ear droop above 0.5, this can cause a problem. So this menu will give you some advice on how to fix that. If you're using a Valve Index or Valve Index controllers, make sure to turn on this option for more accurate finger tracking. If you plan to use your Chuki in MMD worlds and watch them dance, you may want to upload a separate version of your model with the MMD armature enabled. And that's everything. Just make sure to save your changes, and now you've finished shaping your Chuki and adding any extras you wanted. If you ever want to go back and make any changes, especially after you've textured your Chuki, you can do so from the Chuki installer and then Chuki list. In the next video, we'll show you how to customize your Chuki's materials so you can give them all the custom colors you could hope for.